In China today, the state is God. Its angels are materialism and economics, and atheism is king. From the shadows, this is still the listening, watching state. Religion, they still say, is for the weak, and tens of millions of Christians continue to operate underground. For them, the threat of persecution is still very real. There is, of course, an alternative. In China, official legal registered churches exist, but they are controlled by the communist government. For more than 50 million Christians who form China's unregistered house churches, this is unacceptable.
The government wants us to registration. We refuse to do it. If we register, then we can preach openly. We are so protected by the government. So our meeting is lawful.
We meet secretly, mostly in homes, but sometimes even in a yard. The number of people who gather together varies from 5 to 2,000.
Rarely can eyes and ears from the free world come so close to the real heart of the church in China.
Communism has created a spiritual hunger in China. People are so open to receive Jesus. It is not uncommon to see preachers fainting from exhaustion while preaching. For them, 24 hours a day is not enough.
From large cities to small villages, Christians of all ages are actively and effectively sharing their faith. But membership of the unregistered house church in China has its price. Sister Wang is the leader of a house church in northern China. When she became a Christian, her husband divorced her, and then the police raided her house.
They confiscated all our Bibles and spiritual books. They had the evidence, but now they wanted information. When I refused, they became more and more violent and kicked me indiscriminately.
At that time, the words of John 11:25 were very precious to her.
I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even though he dies.
Sister Weng's experience is shared by hundreds of Christians throughout the prison experience is a combination of physical and psychological torture. Former prisoners demonstrated how for hours they're forced to stand in totally unnatural positions. For days they're prevented from going to the toilet. The pain is excruciating. This man told me, God called me to be a pastor. I was too afraid. And then I realized there are thieves in prison who risk their lives for money. Will I not risk mine for God?
The only reason we can survive such ordeals is because of God's grace and the fact that Christians worldwide are faithful and loving enough to pray for us.
Another said, my own sister came to visit me in prison. She cried because she was ashamed of me. But there were others who came to visit with the right kind of tears because they knew I was suffering on their behalf. Even in the course of filming this program, we have received reports of the arrests of 7 house church leaders. In spite of, and because of, persecution, the underground church in China continues to expand, particularly in rural areas where whole villages have been known to come to Christ.
Everyone seems to got hope.
One young Chinese girl with a foreign passport was able to speak on behalf of other young Chinese Christians.
And I can see the spirit there, the truth there, people following the truth. People want to see the hope.
In scenes scarcely witnessed by those from the free world, thousands are being baptized and added to the church. We know of examples where between 1,000 and 5,000 people have been baptized in just one day. The expansion and the commitment of these house churches in China is so very impressive, but it also creates many needs. Imagine the challenge of discipleship training in a church where most people don't even have a Bible. And think of the situation of up to 1 million house church pastors with very limited theological understanding. Not the blind leading the blind, but certainly the hungry leading the hungry. It's